Hello and welcome to Rollout, a role-playing stream in which today we're playing Tales from the Loop, and I am here with many toys, as well as Robin, Kieran,
howdy,
Paul,
well, hey there,
Emma,
hello,
and John.
Hello.
I like how I made you facepalm, John.
This early in the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's good. So, what I need people to do is to roll 3d6. Whoever gets the lowest number is the one who's going to be recapping us on what happened last week.
God, I forgot that was a thing.
I've actually kind of semi-forgotten it.
I watched it this afternoon. So it's fresh. 8.
I rolled 10.
9.
Hold on, it's happened again, hasn't it? Look what I rolled.
Oh, we just want to hear your voice do it. John, what'd you get?
11.
Okay, right, me again. So to recap it, Optimus Prime died, and I'm really upset. Basically, yeah.
That's it, you're done.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
We're not sure about the other robot.
Yeah, may or may not be alive. We don't know.
Thunder Rod.
So rewinding back, I'm just trying to remember where the break was between the two sessions because
We were chasing the robot. As in, we were chasing the falling robot Trish had shot.
Yep.
And the other people were going to the shop.
We were stalking a guy.
Yeah. Okay. So they found the guy that they were stalking, who was handing out flyers in a strange zombie state, and discovered that he had a odd little controller chip on the back of his neck. Upon trying to examine it, he treated it as if it was completely normal. We have no idea why. He knows about it, but he doesn't think it's odd, and he was just waiting for further instructions. I don't think we got any further on that investigation, but we ended up all round Dot and Tarquin's house, trying to plan our next move and talk about what on earth we would do, because Parker escaped her house, which was full of Decepticons, and her parents, who have clearly been taken over by the evil control chips. So we decided that we were going to storm Parker's house and try and destroy the Decepticons, or capture them, which quickly went south, as we realised that, small though they may be, they are quite hard to destroy, and no amount of beating with baseball bats was making them die. That's the point at which Optimus died, in our defence, as we clumsily got into a car and attempted to drive away despite being 13 and 14 respectively. Didn't get as far as the main road, thank goodness. And are now, I think we just got out of the car, didn't we? That was the point at which we ended?
You got back to the lighthouse.
The lighthouse, that's right, yeah.
At which point you started to sort of decompress, work over everything that had happened. There were a couple of little states of patching people up, and then I'm gonna change the timescale of this slightly. It gets quite late in the evening, and we're now talking. It's basically nighttime, and just before you all prepare to basically sleep for the night in the lighthouse because you're unsure of the world around you, the door opens and a familiar face enters. That of
Is it me?
it might be Trish.
Guys, are you here? She turns a light on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
He's
dark.
just sobbing quietly in the corner.
Oh.
Guys?
Oh, thank God.
Drop his defensive stance.
Oh, she didn't realise he was standing there with a bat. Oh, Jesus! It's me!
I think he just has bats now. There were knives.
Yeah.
Who still has the knives?
I think I don't have my cleaver. I have my brick still.
Yeah.
I left you for a day and you've turned into an army? What's going on? Parker, your eye, what happened? Peter, your hand, what happened? What happened?
Optimus Prime died! I can't get over it.
Trish, our pacifism has been sorely tested. Let's just put it like that.
I know how much that must hurt you, Dot. I can
Yes.
I can understand.
Not as much as I hurt other things, though, which is also disturbing.
I can't imagine.
Gone badly.
Does it count if they're metal?
I think all sentient life is a right they should have. Freedom is the thing. I think that was something I was told once.
Freedom for life. Yes.
So, guys, hi. I know it's only been a day, but it feels like quite a lot's happened in the last few hours, and by the look of you guys, quite a lot happened to you as well. How did the search go for the robot that fell from the sky? And should we assume that they've
Yeah, you can
killed
catch
it
each
and-
other,
yeah,
each
blah,
other
blah,
up.
blah,
That's
blah.
fine.
I believe,
Oh my god.
yeah, I believe it's actually tied to the wall still, isn't it?
Oh really?
Yeah. So they can point you at it.
That happened
Oh.
to it. We sort of.
Buckland would like to is spinning his cricket bat in his hand, and he'd like to say, Trish,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
back at your neck, please.
Turn around, would you?
Why?
Let's do it. We'll explain later.
Why?
Hold
my
it
God,
down.
Behind you, there's Sir...
She's not one of them, is
Trish.
she?
Behind you, it's Sir Clive Sinclair.
What?
Which is a neck.
She looks fine. Like there's
Okay.
nothing on the neck.
Okay. Okay.
However, now that it's just been pointed out that one of the Decepticons is tied to the wall, she says, Tarquin, would I be able to borrow your bat for just a moment? I'd just like to hold it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, thanks. And she grabs the bat and then just smashes the robot.
Oh, okay.
Like, quite angrily.
That's right. Kill it. Anyway.
Can you
What was
give me
that
a
pacifism dot?
yeah? Give me a force check.
This will be hilarious. She has no force. What is that body?
Actually, no. Tell me basically how hard would you hit it? How strong is Trish? I'm not going to put any trouble in here.
She's not very strong at all. She's rubbish. She's puny, but
Yeah.
she just wants to vent some frustration.
Yeah,
on
okay.
It.
And you don't manage to severely damage this thing, but you put a few dents in it.
Yeah, enough that she feels pretty, and then she just hands it back. She's like, "It's got a very nice weight to it, Tarquin. Thank you." So, what time is it?
It's nighttime currently.
We
Okay.
were about to head off to actually, weren't we?
Yeah.
The next day, you were planning to head off to the lab, I think.
Parker was going to phone me, see if we could actually get the address of the designer.
Yes.
And if not, we go to the lab. I believe that was our
Okay.
plan.
Before we go to sleep, guys, there's stuff I've got to tell you. I can't wait till tomorrow morning. First of all, I made us some presents. I hope you like them. She looks very excited about this. She's a little bit more manic than she maybe was last time you saw her. She's like, I made these things. I hope you like them. They look shit hot. Oz will confirm this. They're basically badges for a non-existent newspaper called The Beacon. Basically, Trish is sick of us not being taken seriously because we're kids. So she's like, we can't use the school paper. Who cares about a school paper? We need a serious name behind us. So I made us these. So she starts handing out these Beacon badges. They're basically press passes for the Beacon newspaper. They look amazing. They also, when you flip them over, have a code on them. This is the entry code it's her father's entry code to the lab. So everyone has got their own personal access pass to the lab.
Do
yeah.
they all just say press pass on them, or have you given people roles?
Yeah, she's probably given people roles. So like basically the titles we've sort of given ourselves, but they'll say like reporter.
Yeah.
Maybe for Peter specifically, she's put like tech and computing or something because she knows they'll be useful. She's put people's specialist subjects, but she's not going to put like just sports or something because she realised that's not. It wouldn't give them a reason for going into a lab. So
Peter's looking at his with awe.
I made them on a dot matrix printer. Very impressive.
I've never had my own badge before.
Well, now you have. We all have. And who cares if the beacon actually exists or not? All we need to believe is that in our hearts, it does exist. And we are serious.
Peter was talking about the Matrix earlier. So is the dot matrix the thing that gives me my powers?
Yes, let's see that.
Yeah.
And it makes you go like that. That's a bad impression of a dot matrix printer. Heads up though, guys, as most of you know, and I know Parker knows especially, my dad is sort of dead. And I found out some stuff this afternoon about that, which I'm a little upset about. but it's fine. And it might be that when we use these passes, they attract a little attention that we don't want on account of the fact that he died in mysterious circumstances at the lab, possibly by a robot. Anyway, night night. And then she goes like to
Hold on.
sleep time.
Hold on. You're saying that these passes they're from a dead man?
Well, they've got.
I don't get it.
They've got his code, his access code. They still work at the lab. It's just I don't know whether they've got a way of knowing it's him who's using them or someone else using them.
I see.
But
so they might think it's a ghost.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd quite like that. I'd
Or
like the
not.
ghost of my dad to come back. Anyway, she sort of looks a bit.
I must
We should
admit,
probably sleep.
Good.
I don't believe in ghosts. The only ghost I really believe is the spectre that haunts Europe. That is communism. So...
Right. Yes.
God, I didn't really thought you felt that way. I thought you'd be swinging for the other team.
As Trish goes to the there's like a level that's got some bedding and stuff on it.
Sure.
She gestures to Parker. She's like, Parker, can I talk to you?
Yeah, I think you probably should. Yeah.
And the
I'll
girls
bring
go.
Does Doc not count as one of the girls?
Oh shit! Yeah, don't. but Parker's
No.
my
I
best
think Dot's having an animated discussion about the merits and disadvantages of trickle-down economics, right?
Those kind of like brother-sister things which we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And Parker's my best friend, in that horrible 14-year-old kind of way.
Sure.
Yeah. So I think we don't need to RP the whole thing, but basically Trish wants to pull Parker aside and tell her that there was an accident at the lab, that her father died in weird circumstances, that her mum got really upset while they were talking about it, that she thinks it was something to do with robotics, and that he was working with Karina Young on this stuff. Basically, it's just Trish splurging out like, and all this stuff happened, and I was really upset, and now I want to go to sleep.
Parker just ends it with, "Did I tell you my parents are zombies now?"
What? Trish just sits back up again.
What?
What?
So do you both sort of recap each other on
Yes.
the
Yeah,
situations?
in order to save time, we'll assume that they've had this nice
Sure.
encounter where they've caught up on all this
Is there
stuff
anything-
about their parents.
Is there anything specifically that you want to put across or emphasize?
I have my parents' access pass to the lab.
Oh, that takes the wind out of Trish's sails a bit. Oh. Okay,
No. It's okay though, because if there's more than one, then it's not the same pass being used 6 times.
That's true. And these do still look like a newspaper.
Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, right? I guess
Yeah.
so.
Where'd you get a laminator?
Mum.
Okay, so unless anybody else has anything specific they want to do, we can roll into the next day, where you find yourself approaching the laboratories.
Wow.
The chain link fence stretches in both directions around a lot of the area where the center of the loop is. The loop itself is a large cylinder that travels around a lot of the countryside near here, but the actual main labs are in the center near the main reactors, and as I said before, they're 3 sort of cuboidal buildings. And this chain link fence stretches 100 meters in each direction with what looks like, with some sort of security pacing around the edges. There are occasionally small buildings and so forth around the edge, which give the suggestion that maybe the security staff stop off in them, and then the chain link fence continues on both sides of it. There's also quite the number of what looks like sort of checkpoints around it, one on each each of the 4 sides around the square which these labs are in. You can see lorries coming and going, as well as vehicles. They enter the chain link fence, continue for a bit further, before entering going past like a low wall that's maybe 20 feet high and has a large what's it called? A large door on it, which is open. Sorry, no, it's not a door. It's one of those kind of raisy
drawbridge
barriers. No, it's just a barrier that raises and then the lorry goes through and then it closes. There appears to be sort of 2 levels of security before you can just see the tops of the labs behind that. Looking through the barrier, you can see that they're on the inside of this large wall. There's a lot of concrete, whereas outside of it, it mostly appears to be grass and greenery, shrubs, and all that kind of thing.
So I presume we're like ducking out of sight for a moment.
There are plenty of buildings and towns and so forth, all in the nearby area. You can look like a bunch of kids. Strangely.
So Trish is a bit more collected than she was yesterday, and she's realising stuff she probably should mention. So guys, just so you know, all Mum knows about Dad is that he was working with Karina on some kind of putting energy from the loop into some kind of advanced robotics. She obviously didn't believe me when I told her it was happening and that they were little toy robots. She just thought I was making it up. And I also think I know where we can find Karina. But let's see what happens here first. So, I don't know what we're looking for, guys.
Does Karina... Do you know if Karina works here?
No, not anymore. They paid her a load of money. So I think they used hers and Dad's research. She left town, basically, at the same time my dad died. And my mum reckons they gave her loads of money. And she just went. But then, mysteriously, these robots are being made, supposedly in her name. But Mum doesn't think that it's got anything to do with her.
Do we know anyone who works at the labs? I mean, can we be pretending
Parker's mum and dad.
My mum and dad.
And my mum.
I mean, they're zombies now, but...
I mean, it might be a bit risky to talk about your parents, because then they'll know we were here.
Okay, well, I think someone's going to figure out that a group of 14-year-olds were here anyway. Unless we stand on each other's shoulders and get like a really
big Dot's coat.
Okay, you'll be
Put a
surprised.
coat on.
You were genuinely surprised how often that works, Parker.
Well, according to the passes that we're using, we are either Parker's mum or my deceased dad. So maybe it's a bring your kid to work day.
Yeah.
Also, remember, guys, we work for the Beacon newspaper and we're following up a story and we're very official.
I was wondering whether they might have a hard time believing that some kids work for a newspaper that's real.
But look at the badges, Peter.
I mean, they're amazing. Perhaps we're work experience?
Yes. That's a good idea.
Trish,
And because robot toys are so exciting and they're the big thing right now, we as a team of youth reporters have been sent to learn about the origins of these amazing toys.
They might have seen us on the news anyway, because we were there when they were filming.
They would have certainly seen me.
They will have seen Dot.
On the news,
Have Parker and Trish, have they visited these labs before?
Probably not.
Okay.
I swear we kind of established that they'd already sort of been to their parents' workplace a few times.
I think it makes sense,
really?
doesn't it? Like,
depends how secretive the labs are, I suppose.
So that I'm going to state this now. Usually, there isn't this level of physical, like people security around.
Oh.
It's slightly surprising for you to see a few people wandering around with dogs, and well, yes, the level of security that appears to be here is a bit over and above what they usually is. Usually that barrier is just up and they're just waving people through.
Oh, right. Wow. Security's
Okay.
tight.
yeah, I'm not
How
sure
do
we're
we
going
do
to be
this?
able to get through. Over, under, or through?
I mean, do we just... We can't all go up together because if we all get turned away, then none of us are getting in. What if we have a decoy group.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
We collect. See the phone booth back there? Go there.
Yes.
Get the phone booth number. Or if everyone go there, and one of us who is best to do the deepest voice and can lie best, so either Parker or me, I think.
Yes, I'm sure we've got the deepest voices.
Yeah. we could pretend to be. There are women journalists now, and we pretend to be the people about the newspaper, saying yes, we're sending they're sending the kids reporting to actually check it out.
Oh.
And then we say there's another one coming up soon, and then me or Parker comes along.
That's a good way to test the waters, and then if they say at that point, no, we don't want them here, then we know we just have to find another way in.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I'm kind of sneaky on the quiet. There's a reason why I was kicked out of private school, And it may have been
Trish is like, respect.
Trish, just so you know, those badges, they are considered +2, so if you are using them to try and convince someone of something, you will have 2 extra dice. They are that good.
Nice. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Woot. Okay, well, Tarquin sounds very mature and grown up.
Okay.
That was supposed to be a hair twirl. That didn't work very well.
I'll stand by the phone. I'll stand by the phone then.
Okay.
Here's a number. I'm wipe to the phone box where I am scribbling down the number on pieces of paper to hand to you guys.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stand by the phone.
So you're going to get them to call a number, and it's going to be Tarquin there. Okay.
If it needs confirmation, we'll say, here's the number of the beacon.
Sure.
Why don't you call to find out?
To be, seriously, in a moment, stepping out of character for a second, probably the character with the best lying skill should do this.
Who's the best liar?
Which is, I think it's me and Parker. So in other words, one of us is on the phone, the other person is point person coming in.
Okay.
That's my immediate suspicion.
What is lying anyway?
Yeah,
what would it be?
That would be Charm.
No, I have
none of that.
Charm.
Okay, 8 charm. It's definitely Robin. I mean, this is sort of, we're talking OOC, but we kind of know this distinction.
Yeah, that's fine. So Parker on the phone, Parker next to the phone. And the rest of you head towards one of the entrances.
Yeah.
You get.
Hang on, what? We're leaving Parker alone? I'm a bit confused.
Parker's going to pretend to be up. We're going to go to the front door. Say, we're here. We are guests, so we're here to be We've got coverage. You can check out with our, the person here's the phone number of the.
Got it.
Mrs. Parker.
Gotcha.
That's the plan.
I'm a bit nervous. I'll stand at the back and try not to say anything.
Okay.
That's wise, Peter.
Trish, it's okay. I'm going to do my posh girl voice, and I sound much more believable when my posh girl.
Trish has never heard Dot's posh girl voice, so she's just like, okay.
Out of character, I'm very curious as well.
I'm missing out.
I'm a bit more of a Jane Eyre character when I could do it. So there's an aspect to her. I'll give it,
So you head to one of the entrances where there are a couple of people who appear to be wearing hired security outfits, high-vis jackets, and they, as you approach, they have the logo of the lab on their jacket, which is a little crown with electricity things coming out of it, electricity sparks coming out of it. They nod to you as they think you're going to go past, and then as you approach them, you see them, 2 men, kind of straighten up slightly and look at you. Can I help you?
Good day, sir. Me and my comrades here are here to report upon matters of import to the local community. I've been told this is an official thing. If you require confirmation, you may actually contact Miss Parker at the Beacon. I have provided her numbers on said card for your delectation and use.
He blinks at you. For what?
Reporting on matters of interest in the community, specifically about the joy of toys and the joy of the toys coming from such a local place, bringing so much happiness.
You heard anything about this, Rob? No. Maybe just call it in, see what they say. Sure. You said you had a piece of paper. Sorry.
Yes, a piece. This is the
card that my colleague gave you.
This is the number of Mrs. Parker at the Beacon newspaper.
Right. Do you have some sort of
experience?
Do you have some sort of appointment with someone?
Yes, Mrs. Parker's the one who organised it all.
Doc, can you give me a charm check?
With +2, right? Because the badge is really official looking.
Did you show off the badge?
Yes, it was definitely that was my entrance.
Cool.
In which case, 8 dice. Yeah, 1 6.
Okay. Okay.
Like 7, like 5 5. It's like
everyone's just sweating.
The guy kind of reaches forward and takes the badge and the piece of paper out of your hand. Let me call this in. Just wait there. And he walks to the side. He walks into one of the squat little sheds that are around. And you see him through the window of the shed. He picks up a phone and to dial it. And you see him saying something into the phone for a few seconds. And then he nods. And then he leans against a wall. And you can see him not saying anything, just kind of leaning against the wall, watching you lot.
While he's on the phone, Trish is going to get out her notepad and start asking some questions of the other security guy, like in a proper like. So, just to get me warmed up, how long have you worked? Just like generic questions to kind of look keen and reportery.
Give me 3 questions.
What's his name? I can see his badge. Yeah, I'm guessing. It was Robert Tyler, wasn't it? So, Mr. Tyler, just so, because you're our first point of contact and we get to put you in the paper, how long have you worked at the labs?
I'm just hired for this job. I've just been here a week now.
Oh, and you're what are you, chief of security? You look very important.
I am a security specialist, yes.
Wow, that's very exciting.
I usually work for Securitech. We are part of We're based in Norfolk, and so I was hired to do this job for
it's always
this week
good
and the next week.
It's good to see local business. So just for 2 weeks, okay.
Yes.
And I mean, we've seen a lot of lorries coming and going, so clearly production is high at the moment. Are you there to sort of oversee the lorries and the product as it leaves and enters the building?
I don't know what they make in here. I don't know if they make anything. I just make sure that they've got the right credentials when they come in. Make sure everything's safe. Safety is very important. Miss...
Why do they think...
Oh, Miss Smythe.
Miss Smythe.
Why do they think it's... why do you think they need extra security for such a short-term project? It seems like such a safe, peaceful village.
I didn't ask. They didn't tell.
Wow, that sounds very exciting.
I'm guessing that they're working on something very secure at the moment. I didn't think to ask, and I didn't think it was necessary.
I think that's probably why our newspaper has set this up, because it's all very exciting.
Parker.
She looks over to Parker. Well, not to Parker, obviously.
I pick up the phone. Office of Miss Petunia Parker, the Beacon paper. How may I help you?
Hi there, Miss Parker. Yes, we're calling on behalf of the local Loop Laboratories. We have a few people here from your newspaper. We're just wondering who you set up an interview with?
Ah, yes, our student reporters. Such keen little content creators they are. We hired them as interns, unpaid, you understand, but, well, needs must. They may be a little early for their appointment with Mrs. Kennedy. They're terribly keen.
Mrs. Kennedy?
That's Parker's mother.
Oh, yeah, I see. Kennedy.
I was going to say.
I know.
Yeah.
Did you make this appointment through Mrs. Kennedy herself, or...?
I believe so, yes. Okay. You understand, my assistant did so.
Yes, of course. Now, when was this interview for? And what was it for?
What, today at 9 a.m.?
So 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we can find Miss Kennedy and send her out.
I believe they were under instructions to meet Mrs. Kennedy inside. At the reception desk.
We're undergoing a small security issue at the moment, so we're getting people to meet them outside. If we cannot find Mrs. Kennedy, we'll send someone else to gather them and take them to a waiting area.
Wonderful.
Have a lovely day. Miss Parker, was it?
Yes, that's right. Yes, Petunia Parker.
Petunia Parker. Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Have a lovely day, and I hope your newspaper sells plenty.
Yes, do take care of our bright little sparks.
Meanwhile, it cuts back to the other, and by this point they're like, and what's your favourite food, Rob? And how many pets do you have?
Well, I do and he'll answer anything. Once he gets going, Rob seems to be enjoying just being the centre of attention for a little while.
Prefer the Smiths to the Cure.
So, in the meantime, Parker kind of sidles up, because she's done her job.
Sure. And
where have you been? You're
You
late.
can see the guy inside nodding.
Do you think this face happens by itself?
And the security guard inside the shed comes out. It's okay, Rob. They've got clearance. I'll take them in. I'll take them into one of the offices to wait there while they find whoever it is they're looking for.
Lovely to meet you, Rob. Hope your hamster gets better soon. Bye.
Thank you very much for your service, gentlemen.
Rob waves in that kind of... He's quite excited by this.
I like Rob.
Yeah, Rob's nice. He's good people.
So the security guard starts to escort you the 50 feet to the wall where you can see the main barrier. Once he gets there, he has a brief word with the person behind the who is working the barrier, and in short order, you are taken into one of the 3 labs. The entire area outside is mostly concrete on the floor, or tarmac, sorry, on the floor, with a grass verge next to the wall surrounding it. There's a car park, and you can see 3 lorries that are being loaded and unloaded to the side of one of the other buildings.
Can we see what's being loaded onto them?
I'm going to say that if you would like to do that, that would be a... Actually, no, you can just see that what's being... Mostly it's stuff being loaded off of them, and it appears to be a... what looks like technical equipment, maybe large computers or servers or something like that. What's being loaded onto them appears to be quite similar, just electronic devices of some kind.
Are we still with
something you do notice is that on the other side of this compound, to the left, something you hadn't noticed when coming to the entrance, there appears to be part of the wall appears to actually be damaged. It appears that something has knocked over in some way. There's a large amount of rubble that has now been... Some of it has been cleared away, but there is obviously a breakage in the wall at the back of the lab.
Okay,
Who's
what
walking
happened
us?
there?
Yeah.
Sorry, did you actually ask that of the security guard?
Yes.
Don't know, it happened before I got hired.
No. Seems like a hole in your security.
Well, I'm guessing that's why they hired more of us.
You know, like a literal hole. Yeah.
Oh.
I think he gets it, Parker. Yeah.
Oh. The joke. He escorts you into the front entrance of one of these laboratories. Inside, it's very much like a... at least the corridors you see look very much like an office. There appears to be red carpet, and everything has that kind of recently cleaned office smell to it. Right near the entrance, he guides you into a small room filled with couches and coffee tables. It's just like a 30-foot wide room, and he just says, "If you stay here, I'll go and look for Miss Parker." Parker, Miss Kennedy's. I'll go and look for Mrs. Kennedy for you, and well, don't make a mess. And he walks out.
Could I just ask one question?
Yes.
Just in case we need the toilet, where would we go for that?
He points to a sign on the wall that says "toilets" that way.
Damn it! This one. Okay, that would
further into the building.
Has he left?
Yeah.
He leaves in the direction of the same toilets, but that's quite a long corridor.
Okay.
The moment he leaves, I go, "Oh no! What's he gonna do if he brings Mrs. Parker?" And
Peter, it's okay.
Don't worry about it.
The second he leaves the room, my body language slumps. As in, like, she's been, like, head balancing a book, and then slump.
Facilities like
Dustin didn't even recognise you.
For health and safety and fire reasons, they tend to have maps on the wall so that you can identify the nearest fire exit.
Okay. Damn it, bringing the real world into this real world setting. Yes, you can see that there are... the floor you're on, anyway, because it doesn't have the entire building on it, appears to have... This room here is a... it has a room... Sorry. Most of this building is based along a long corridor. The room you're in has a similar-sized room on the opposite side, and then you can see a number of smaller offices along the corridor. At the end of the corridor, there is a set of stairs to the side, and you can see that there is a very large room at the back. Maybe a warehouse for storage, or maybe...
So if one were to assume that the hole was connected to this facility, one might logically assume that the hole is in that big room at the back.
Oh, was it a hole in the wall of the actual main building then?
The hole in the wall was the hole in the wall surrounding the compound.
I was going to say, it's an exterior wall, yeah.
Oh, that would have been... That's our way out. Okay.
Has everyone got their walkie-talkies?
Yes.
Of course.
My suggestion is somebody goes to the toilet and sees what they can see on the way to the toilet, and we'll watch
Yes.
out.
I was thinking that.
Oh.
Who wants to go?
If you tell us when he come back, we can avoid him. Yeah. Wait in the toilet and then sneak past him.
Who wants to go on recon?
Peter, do you want to do it? Because you know you'll know what things mean.
Oh,
he shouldn't go alone, though.
Well, maybe someone who knows the building, and I could go too.
I can go with you, Peter. Although we wouldn't be going into the same toilet.
I suppose that's fine. They're next to each other, right?
Yeah.
I barely know what I'm looking at in this lab. So how about I'll be on the radio to try and warn you. Basically, we're going to get as much time as we're going to get before we get caught and thrown out, either by someone who's not supposed to interview or by the security guard. It doesn't really matter. So I'll stay here and distract the guards and warn you when they're coming back. You guys, I say leg it. See as much as you can and record as much as you can before we all get turfed out.
Good idea.
Sounds a plan. Sensible,
okay.
Tarquin. Sensible.
We'll go in pairs. Trish, Peter, you go that way. I point on the map. Dot, we'll go upstairs.
These passes should get you through most doors if they haven't removed my father's, whatever, his permissions. Okay, let's go. Okay.
Ready?
Go team.
Break.
Trish puts a hand in the middle and just hopes someone joins her.
Peter doesn't know what you're doing.
Peter, guys, I take Peter's arm and put
your hand on top of Dot's hand, Peter. I know it's hard.
Yeah. Right, now get a move on.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So the teams are... What are the teams?
I'm with Peter.
I'm with Dot.
Peter's probably a bit like, but I wanted to be with Dot.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's why it's funny.
we awkwardly put the two liars together and the two non-liars, but never mind.
That's true.
What is Tarquin doing?
Tarquin is going to.
Stage crime scene.
Tarquin is going to stay there. He's
Okay.
going to. Yeah, because it's no point in me hiding. Because they're just gonna run and try and find all of us, aren't they?
He'll be the one who have to basically tell them they all needed a poo. They all had to go to the toilet.
Oh,
The
Mrs.
school
Kennedy.
tells us to use a buddy system.
Well, Mrs. Kennedy, Mrs. Kennedy is came to get us. And took
Oh
us to-
yes.
and they left me here to tell you that.
Yeah.
I might have lied before, says Dot.
That's good. That's good.
Nice.
Good.
Okay,
Okay.
so this corridor heads back the way through this building, with offices on either side, finishing at a large room of some kind. Next to the large room, there is a staircase going up, at least according to the map. So, what are the plans? Who is going where? Who wants to check out these office buildings, office rooms? Who wants to check out the big room? Who wants to go up the stairs?
Probably want to check out the big room.
Yeah, but I think stay at least in pairs. If we
Oh yeah.
if we all split off, we're going to go absolutely in trouble.
I think
Okay.
Parker said go upstairs for me, and Dot and Parker
Yep.
going upstairs.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Before you guys find anything, can we please have a montage of people opening doors and peering round, and then
Yes.
we'll
Hell yeah.
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 Yeah. You gaze into various office rooms. Some of them have people in, and you kind of look in and then quickly bring your head back. Or you look over a cubicle corner.
set to something from the soundtrack to The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, definitely.
Peter's saying, clear, over.
And
This corridor is clear. I guess we're looking for searching for. I think Trish would be looking for things that look like they're going to be able to house a lot of energy, like laboratory styles rather than offices.
Okay.
Peter, because she doesn't know about Optimus yet. So Peter, do you happen to still have Optimus on you?
No.
Peter?
He got left behind.
Oh no! I thought he'd be able to lead us. You see, if there were any more of them here, he could take us to them.
No, I think he's dead.
Oh.
We lost him. But there is another. There may be another one out there. If he survived, I didn't see him get destroyed.
The Rotunda, the motorbike one.
Oh, that was his name. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, we should have brought that. Oh no, if we'd brought them with us. I'm sorry about Optimus, though.
It might have worked, but alas, no.
So instead, they'll just keep sneaking, looking for telltale pipes or vents or things that look like they could point in the direction of a lab.
He's on the lookout for anything he recognises as sort of computer, robot manufacturing stuff, or
heading down the corridor, it kinks to the left slightly, and then ahead of you, you see a set of double doors with windows in them, and then beyond that, another set of double doors with windows in them. They have a keycard slot to the side of it.
Okay.
There are continual office rooms either side, and you can see at the end there is you can see the start of a set of spiral stairs going up next to this set of double doors you saw.
We have
I've got all
found.
the. Oh, sorry.
No,
Well,
you're right.
I've got my equipment with me. As if you remember, I stuffed all of my tinkery stuff in my bag.
Great.
I'm going to try and keep an eye out. I'm going to see if I can short circuit this door.
Okay, I was going to say let's use the key card, but if you think you can do
Oh.
that, then
Does that work on the keys? Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know yet. We could try.
So try it.
Beautiful.
We have found a door with a security pass thing. Do you think we should use the key cards, guys?
Yeah.
Tarquin would like to turn his radio off.
Yep. That's fine.
Oh, Darkwing. Okay, that's weird.
No, you're right. I'm meant to be lying, and they could come back into this room at any moment.
Sensible.
Yeah. Trish, you missed something last week where the radio started bleeping with the cops at the door.
Right. Okay, that's wise. Well, I
Point
guess we
of
should give
order
it a
about
go.
the radios. Didn't Peter find the frequency that the radios could be set to like pick up? Either was it pick up or transmit from the Decepticons?
Pick up from the Decepticons.
So, point of order about how radios work, because guys, I don't know. If we set it to that frequency, will it get feedback as we get closer to them?
That is an
only as we got
interesting
closer to the
theory.
source.
No, we won't get feedback, but the signal isn't going to get louder or softer, unfortunately, because if it's can reach the whole town, then it's going to be blaringly loud.
It's a good idea, though.
And once you start to get out of range, you might be able to work it out, but not if you're just generally in an area where it's good.
That won't work.
But
Shall we?
that's a thing that you do know that you're looking for, or possibly looking for, keeping an eye out for, is something to do with that sort of technology.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't know if it hit me in the face, which is why I'm staying put.
Oh God, we got the
Peter.
two tech people together as well.
Am I techie? I'm not.
So-
no, I am a bit.
Okay,
Actually.
Parker.
What are you doing?
Dot and Parker, or?
Either one. So, Don Parker, are you heading up the stairs, or...?
Yeah, we're going to go upstairs. That was the
We
plan.
need to cover as much ground spread out as possible before we get caught.
Upstairs, just when you get to the first floor, there is another set of double doors, much like the ones downstairs, and then you can see to your right there another corridor, this time with a blue carpet, with various office rooms coming off of that.
Key carded or non-key carded?
The door next to you is keycarded.
That's a little key card.
Watch out, Parker. I'm looking around, and Parker does the code.
So you put the this is from your parents, right?
Yep.
Yep. It goes green, and the door just goes. Beyond which there is another set of two doors. Do you just go in? You go straight in?
Yeah.
I think like we do a quick like
Surveillance.
by then.
Yep. Looking in here, you can see. Looking in the next set of doors, they have windows as well, but you can see plastic sheets coming down from an area above you, as well as a metal grate on the floor that looks like it goes down, probably down to the ground floor. As in the floor is metal grating.
Yeah.
We're all going to be entering the same space, aren't we? But on different floors.
Okay.
Okay. Open the next one and go in.
Yeah, so you enter this area. What you can hear in here is straight away the sort of cracking and zapping of electrical energy. Like you can smell the ozone in the air as you come in here, and yeah. So in front of you, just 5 feet or so, is this plastic sheeting, and do you push your way through it, or
Yes.
you looking through it, you see a very large room. It appears to go from the ground floor all the way to the top of the second floor, and it would be quite dark were it not for the large gaping hole in one of the large warehouse doors at the back. You can see that pipes and wires hang down from various parts of this room, and there are a number of desks on the floor, all of which appear to be trashed or broken or damaged in some way. The entire room is filled with various forms of electronics, or more correctly, electrical items. You see a bit of what I, as an adult, would describe as a Tesla coil. I don't know if you would know what it is as Parker, but large metal devices of strange construction and shape.
This looks like a craftwork gig.
It's techno. You found the home of techno.
I found the techno.
But you do see a number of people who appear to be wearing plastic suits, like hazmat suits almost, moving through it. They appear to be gathering together different wires or electrical items and piling them up into like things. So over here there's wires, over here there's items that look like computers or servers. You can, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
So are we all on the same? Are we on the same floor as people who are moving, or are we on like a balcony?
You're on a balcony.
Okay.
I'm going to guess if we follow our doors, we'll be in the same space but beneath you.
If you do, yes. Do you want to try and get through those doors?
Well, I'm assuming we don't know what's happening upstairs. And that's what I would have chosen.
But we would be trying to go through the door, yeah.
Okay, you try and use your pass. Red.
Oh, damn. Okay, Peter. Backup plan. Do that thing you were saying.
Oh, okay. Let's give this a try. I've got to see if there's any surveillance systems attached to it first. I suppose there might be.
So I'm going to need a program check from you.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a +2 because you figure that you might be able to use the keycard, the physical act of doing the keycard, to do something with it.
Oh, okay, right. I have 3 successes.
Ooh. Two thumbs way up.
So you will succeed. Now I want to know, do you want to make it more effective than expected in some way, what you've done?
Yes, that would be very nice.
Ooh, yeah. Could we erase records? Like, so no one knows that someone's used the door?
Yes, you can do that if you'd like.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, if I could erase all records of who's used the doors, and if possible, turn the key card into a sort of a skeleton key, so it doesn't just give us whatever access that her father had, but it becomes a sort of a cure-all for this kind of security system.
Okay,
is that OP?
I will allow it to be used for additional doors or additional access. I will have ultimate decision as to what level that is.
Okay, right. Cool.
The doors open, and stepping in, again, you two see the same plastic hanging from the grating above you. You can see that Parker is above you. You can see the grating there. And you can see that she's got her head kind of glancing through the...
Parker and Dot are wearing trousers, I hope. Don't look, Peter, don't look!
If they aren't, Peter's shielding his eyes, blushing furiously.
What's under that coat?
And...
it's big. It's dungarees, probably. I see him in dungarees.
So do you gaze through this? Do you look through what Parker's looking at as well? Or...
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
So Peter's gonna have a good look.
So you see the same thing that I described earlier. You can feel the air coming from the large gaping hole in one of the warehouse doors. Is there anything particularly you would like to do?
Can I try and investigate, see if I sort of recognise anything or recognise if it's relevant at least to what we're looking for?
Absolutely.
Give it a go. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6.
You can ask me 2 questions.
Okay. Hold on. I don't have my reference sheet again. Could you...
Actually, tell you what, because Trish is there with you, you can have one more dice.
Okay. Let's give it a go. It's a 3.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask 2 questions. First of all, does this look like we're going in the right direction?
For what?
To find where these robots come from, or anything to do with the robots specifically.
You do not see anything in relation to the Transformer robots here.
Okay, so I can't tell if we're on the right track.
Aside from that, whatever happened in here before involves electricity and power in some way. You don't know.
My mum said that Dad's work, they were trying to harness the energy of the loop and channel it into robotics.
Oh.
But this area doesn't look like a production, like...
No, it looks like maybe something they made broke out.
A generator or something? Oh yeah, the hole in the door, like at the back. Is that? Did you say that there was a hole in the door?
There is a large, oversized hole. It looks more like... It doesn't look like something broke through it, so much as it's a set of warehouse doors that something has lifted up and bent upwards.
Oh, okay. Right.
Inside or the outside?
Tarquin is not there, but
inside or the outside?
you can't tell from what you're seeing here, aside from the fact that there is nothing currently in here that could do that.
Okay, right. Can we see anything that's generating the electricity, or is it just
the big hole in the floor with all the glowing coming out of it?
There are a number of wires on the walls and so forth, some of which occasionally spark. You're guessing that they have felt that maybe it's best to leave the power on while they're doing this investigation or something like that. But you can see that occasionally a wire on the wall will touch a part of a generator, a server, or part of the large bits of metal and will spark.
Okay, so second question I'm just going to ask.
Oh, yeah.
What parts, if any, are dangerous?